The Who Made These Stupid Rules team and I wanted to do a little mini-series, a little group of segments that we've titled Simple Ways to Invite Opportunity to Knock. Because we travel all over the country and we get these questions from sales managers and business owners about how do we be ready when opportunity comes knocking, or how do we seize opportunities? How do we capture opportunities? It's a big part of inspiration and motivation that I try to bring to every single event, viewing the world a little differently and creating those sliced bread moments. And in the first segment, we talked about situational observations. The endeavor of going out to meet a new person and then learning why that person stood out in the crowd to you. And if we can bring some of those subconscious or unconscious or whatever conscience you want to use term to bring some of those observations that we naturally have up to the surface to show how so many opportunities and avenues for conversation are just around us every single day. And learning these stories and hearing people and meeting people and learning about them and being able to share about yourself. And then the second segment, we talked about changing some negatives into positives. Even a tepid yes, a tepid maybe or possibility can open so many avenues for opportunity to find us because we're out there actively soliciting opportunities. And we're creating the atmosphere for sliced bread moments. And in this segment, I wanted to do something that was near and dear to my heart, and that was something I wrote about in Who Made These Stupid Rules. It was making 2 minutes last for days. And as with most things in life, who you are is just part of your being. It isn't easily turned off. It just sort of carries with you. And I brand myself to friends and family as a cheesy salesman. I prod my beloved wife with a little light sales training along the way to make her giggle. It's just who I am. Always looking for a better way to do stuff. But I try to brighten a day. I try to create a smile. I try to leave a positive impression. And don't get me wrong, some people just won't like me. They won't understand me. Or they just think that I'm trying to get something out of them. And I appreciate that. Sometimes I can't help that. But it doesn't mean that I won't try to change that perception. And I mentioned taking, in Who Made These Stupid Rules, I mentioned taking Post-it note and leaving it on my driver's route sheets or whatever, just to leave that positive note to sort of inspire them. And so I take that same thing from my business life and I turn it into personal life. My wife would find a little note on the coffee pot in the pantry, take to the bathroom mirror, just an inspirational, I love you, have a great day, or some sort of off-color remark, a little sweet and salty. Love seeing your smiling face every morning just because you haven't quite decided how absolutely ridiculous I am yet. How can I brighten your day today? Whatever it is, something to let her know. I took 2 minutes out of my day just to brighten hers. And I hope that they carry it with them. And much to my surprise, so many people around me have been so accustomed to that. And when I go traveling and I don't reach out, I get questioned like, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? We haven't heard from you in a while. If you try to foster that inspiration and the motivation of people around you. And so a story I tell, and I've told this story I don't know how many times now. My beloved wife's birthday several years ago. I woke up before she left. I was up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I had a birthday present. I had a real present. I had a whole thing planned for dinner that night. But I wanted to give her a little extra day brightener. And so I sat at the coffee table, and I sit at the kitchen table, and I was drinking my coffee. And I pulled out Post-it notes. I love Post-it notes. 3M, call me. And I started writing little notes. And I thought it was just going to be a little love note here, a little love note there, a little happy birthday, whatever. And the wheels of inspiration, when you actively seek these little, creating sliced bread moments, or you start thinking outside the box and you allow yourself to daydream, you'll find that these thoughts and these opportunities are around. So I wrote one note, and then I wrote another note, and then I wrote another note, and 17 notes in all. And then I thought, what am I going to do with this? And so I started placing them around the house. And every time I found a new place to put it, it inspired me to write another note. And so I turned it into a scavenger hunt. She wakes up at 5:30 in the morning, and she sees the first one sitting right on an ottoman in front of the chair that she sits in when we watch the news every morning. And she probably thought to herself like, oh, that's nice. He didn't even get me a card. He didn't even get me a gift. And then when she got up to shower and she went to go get dressed, she kept finding more and more. And now it became a game. Before her workday had even started, she's giggling. And I even put one in her car, number 17. And after all of that, she kept walking through the house like, how many of these are there? And I wouldn't tell her because I didn't want to let that tease die. I wanted her to be inspired, and I wanted her to keep looking. And so she found most of them in the house, or I think she found all of them in the house. And then she gets out to her car, and she sends me a text. She's driving down the street at the end of our driveway. She said, I found 17. Thank you. I love you so much. And see, it wasn't about an expensive gift or a grand gesture or even just because it was a difficult thing to do. It simply made her laugh. And it's something I hope she'll remember for years to come. And if I keep telling the story, she'll never forget about it. It's the gift that keeps on giving. But it's just those memories of searching around the house looking for the next Post-it note from her ridiculous husband. And so think about, as you walk through your daily life and you're trying to create sliced bread moments and you're trying to inspire those around you and you're trying to walk with a smile and you're trying to turn negatives into positives and you're trying to meet new people, take a moment to think, how can I make 2 minutes last for days? How can I brighten someone's day to give them something to giggle about for the next few days or the next few hours? You have no idea what someone's going through. And so if you can add a smile, you can greet them with a smile, you can do something really simple and something really nice. I promise you, sliced bread moments will start finding you in your life.